Hey up, it's A Wee Natter. I'm Marc Steele, and joining me across the table, dear listener, is...
I'm back again. It's Jenny Steele.
Yeah, we need to fix that someday. And we are joining you on the week. I came across not one, but two mouse statues.
Two mouse statues?
Two mouse statues. One of them looked like it was singing, having a wee jolly song. Maybe even a Christmas carol, get into that time of year. The other one was holding a coin out like it was saying, I'll give you this if you please shut up.
Wow, where was this then? Where was I?
Oh, this was in some gift shop or something. Anyway, other things that have happened include the post bag. It has arrived, dear listener, because last week we asked you, what would you put in a piñata to instantly ruin the party? And I think we landed on spiders were a very bad idea.
We did.
We did land on that one. We've had a couple of you being in touch. Slap Ups has been in touch with Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts?
It's a bit of a 1-2 hit. You get the sea of green horridness dropping down, and then bang as the smell of farts hits you.
You see, I like a Brussels sprout.
That's because you're an absolute weirdo. That's why you are. Also being in touch, Matthew Summers, saying use tea bags.
Tea bags?
Used tea bags.
Used tea bags. Yeah, yeah.
The way he puts it is utterly worthless, completely useless, and not likely to do damage or cause injury to those under the piñata. Pure disappointment. I think you're onto something there, Matthew. Yeah. Nothing more disappointing than being offered a cup of tea and then spotting the used tea bag ready to go into your mug. We all know somebody like that, trying to save the fraction of a penny reusing tea bags. You sit there going, at that point, you just don't do tea.
Could you decline, even though they've already made it and we've just seen what tea bag they're going to... Actually, I've changed my mind.
That is its own level of disappointment, isn't it? I'm not big on tea, but when I do it, it's builder strength. And even I'm revolted at the idea of reusing tea bags.
Oh, yeah.
And on that note, dear listener, on the basis we can't get much lower, let's have a wee natter. If there's a running theme on this podcast, dear listener, it's food. If you remember, a couple of episodes back, we did the breakfast tour of knots.
We did.
And if you're brand new to this podcast, you've only just discovered it, it totally wasn't an excuse to have a fry up every day of the week on, every day of the week on a week off. But Jenny, and you, dear listener, are you up for another food competition, food countdown?
Yeah, definitely. I think the listeners are, because I have run this past them on the Sooty the Solid Radio Cat's Facebook page. We've got a couple of people that's already out there that's already purchased said item to join in.
In case you're wondering, it's just past Halloween. So we're thinking, what can we do now? And we're starting to look at the descent towards the C word now, aren't we?
Yeah.
That's where it's going to the year. So we're going to be judging mince pies. I want your involvement, dear listener. If there's any suggestions or places we should get mince pies from to compete and see, what is the best mince pie for 2022, we want you to get involved. The downside is Muggins here will be doing all the legwork. So if you come up with some real obscure suggestion that's the other side of the country, guess who's travelling to create it?
You are.
It will be me, yes.
We're kicking off this week, aren't we, Mark, with the one that was the winner last year?
Yes. So it was a winner as far as we were concerned last year. We're going to try it first just to set a benchmark for this year.
Yeah.
But before we go even near a mince pie, we need to know what criteria we're going to be comparing them on to be able just to rank them.
Yes. Yeah. So I thought maybe the look of the mince pie, like, the appearance, the taste, and maybe the texture.
Okay. Yeah, that seems like a good competition. And in case you're worried, dear listener, I will cut all the slopping and jumping and all the noises that come with actually stuffing them in your gob. You will just get... We're only going to share the outcomes of it. So, in front of you, Jenny, you have got... I went all the way to our nearest supermarket, Asda. Went to their extra special collection.
Yes.
And went for 6 luxury slow gin mince pies.
You see, and these were the winners last year. I used to take different types of mince pies into work, and we all agreed as well that this one was the best. So yeah, I'm looking forward to tasting this one again, just to see if I can remember just how beautiful it tasted.
Right, so you were going to rate it on 3 different things, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
So, look, what do you think of the look?
So the look's quite nice. It's got some nice little stars on there, and they've done the sprinkle of is it icing sugar that they sprinkle on top, is it? It looks a nice crumbly short crust pastry base.
Yeah.
So it looks quite nice at the minute. Yep, nice. Impressed with that.
Okay, and your next one was going to be texture and flavour, wasn't it? So
Yes.
you're going to have to stick it in your gob and
Yes.
tell us what you think of it.
So it's come away from the little silver carton. Fine, you know, some of them just crumble away in your hand. So I'm quite impressed with that. Let's just have a little taste. It's very crumbly. No, I've said that.
It is. So
Very buttery.
the way I'd describe it is very soft pastry, which I'll give you for a Christmas thing is a good thing. You don't want it to be too dry, do you?
No.
The
I
filling-
haven't got to the mince bit yet.
You haven't got...
No, I've
how
just
have
had
you
a nib.
managed to stuff
I'm
your gob
trying.
with a mince pie and not get to the mince meat? That's like 90% of the pie. And what are you rating it?
You see, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm not getting much flavour this time around.
Ooh.
I'm getting a bit of flavour, but I'm not getting, oh, God, that was gorgeous sort of flavour.
So are you saying this is a middle of the road
I am.
benchmark? Wow. Okay, so what was the winner last year is now the middle of the road benchmark. So, because we can only do one mince pie a week, dear listener, we'll see how this competes to find a Wee Natter
We think
best.
we are.
We'll see how this competes to find a Wee Natter best mince pie of 2022 with more mince pie action next week. And bear in mind, if there's any you think they shouldn't miss this, it's not an obvious one, but I think we shouldn't miss this, do get in touch on the socials, all the different ways of getting in touch. We want to hear and find the best mince pie in Britain for 2022. Now, is it just me, or are there certain words and phrases that you only hear in the workplace?
Blue sky thinking, out of the box. In terms of, do you mean that sort of thing?
Yeah, like let's loop around and put a pin in that. No idea what
I've not
any
heard
of
that
it
one.
means. You've never heard that one?
No.
I've heard that one. I have no idea what it
Starter
means.
for 10.
Well, that just means what you're kicking off with.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard that outside of work. That's
Have
quite
you?
a common one.
Oh.
Yeah. And if anyone could tell me where that box is, you were talking about blue sky out the box thinking, that'd be great. It's a bit hard to think outside the box. You have no idea where the box is. If somebody could tell me, brilliant. And I was thinking wider than the world of work. Is there any words or phrases that wind you up, dear listener, and you, Jenny?
Yeah, people that, I think I've just mentioned it, people that keep mentioning in terms of, every other word is in terms of, or, you know, when somebody's having a conversation and they start the conversation off with, look, it's like they're being very aggressive to me, you know, it can be a conversation about anything and then they'll say, look, and then go into whatever spiel they were talking about. I'm like, yeah, that irritates me when they come back with look.
Just the word look.
Well, they'll go look, and then instead of having like a normal conversation, you can ask somebody a question. Instead of just coming out and answering that question, they'll start that sentence off with, look, what I believe is, whatever, you know. And I'm like, why did you have to start that sentence with look? So that's kind of irritating to me. Yeah, look.
Patronising, isn't it?
Patronising.
The ones that wind me up. I've got a strong personality. You hear that phrase and you know trouble is brewing and they ain't going to take the blame for it. It's always going to be you on the other.
Yeah.
Or the other one that you hear it somewhat regularly, both in and out of work. I'm a Marmite person.
Oh.
Someone you love or hate.
Yeah.
The weird bit, I don't love or hate Marmite. To me, it's just meh. I genuinely can't get on the hate or love train for Marmite, in all honesty. So I'm going to open this one up to you, dear listener. What is the word or phrase that winds you up? You can let us know on social media at Solid Radio UK or at Solid Sooty if you prefer to talk to the cat. Or if you are listening on Spotify, there's a little question that's popped up. You can tap on that and pop your answer in there and we'll have a chat about it in the next episode.
Now then, we've talked about mince pies today already on the show, haven't we? Mm-hmm. I want to bring up another food item.
Uh-oh.
And it's pizza. I mean, who doesn't love a pizza?
That's going to be a very short list of people, I imagine.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not on that list. This sounds interesting to me. I'm up for it.
So whenever I order a pizza, I always like to have like I used to call it a Hawaiian, like ham and pineapple. But pineapple always seems to get people into two different groups, those that love the pineapple or those that hate pineapple. And I'm just kind of wondering what your take is, Mark, and what the listeners' take on. Would you have pineapple on a pizza?
My genuine answer is I don't do pineapple on a pizza. And it's not because I'm particularly offended by pineapple. I'm offended by the concept of fruit and veg on a pizza. If you're going to do a pizza, It's got to be your tomato base, you got your cheese on top, and then if you're going to do a topping, it's got to be some dead critter or vague approximation thereof. I'm not sure what goes into that kebab meat they put on it, but it said it tastes nice. It's brilliant. That's what I expect a pizza to be. All this fruit, veg, mushroom on a pizza. Who wants that soggy mess on there?
See, I made the mistake once of having mushroom and sausage cob, as we call it, cob up here. And the mushroom made the cob really soggy and horrible. But yeah, I am all for pineapple on a pizza. And I just wondered, it just seems to split people into two different camps. And I'm just wondering, what is your take, listener, on would you have a pineapple on a pizza? Pineapple as well always reminds me of Sunday afternoon as a kid. Every Sunday afternoon, our pudding was a can of that fruit that Mum used to ping out the pantry. Like that mixed fruit cocktail you'd get. And you sit there picking out all the bits out of it that you didn't like and trying to feed them the dog when she weren't looking. And that just, when you see pineapple, I don't know why, but it just reminds me of tins of fruit as a kid. But yeah, I just want to know, I'm interested in what people's thoughts are.
Hang on, let me get it straight. The reason you like pineapple on pizza is because it takes you to a time when you were forced to eat pineapple and weren't particularly happy about it.
I think I might have liked the pineapple. I think it was like the cherries. The cherries you got in the fruit cocktails, cherries, and there was some bits of grapefruit bits, and you try. Although it didn't work because the dog used to hate the bits of fruit anyway, so you try and think, where can I hide it? And you'd put it in your pocket or something, trying to hide your fruit cocktail.
If you want the real controversial topping for a pizza, it is not pineapple. Everyone's broomed through the pineapple debate. I'm sure you're about to deal with
anchovies.
No. That's another old debate. The real controversial topic is fried egg in the middle of the pizza.
You see, I've only ever seen that in Scotland.
One random takeaway that I happen to know does it. Yes, it's brilliant. If you've not tried it, it sounds absolutely bonkers, but do give it a shot.
And fried pizza.
Oh, that's even better. I can't take myself to what's called a pizza crisp, which is a battered pizza. Oh. And when we talk about fried pizza and battered pizza, dear listener, we're talking about like the 99p Iceland special. The really cheap, nasty pizzas you wouldn't normally eat, but deep fried, they are gorgeous. You could wring them out, but they are absolutely gorgeous. So at the time of recording, dear listener, we've made one more big step towards the depths of winter, which makes it sound far more big than it really is. But it's also quite depressing when you think of it like that, isn't it?
It is, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I have to put my egg chair away in the garage because I can't sit and swing on it in the lovely summer evenings anymore.
No, we are definitely heading towards winter. Clocks have literally changed just today at the time of recording, dear listener. And in the modern world, more and more stuff changes the time itself. And if you want to see the most bonkers time change, it's, those radio-controlled clocks that maybe like 3 people ever bought?
Yeah,
the ones that set themselves, if you stick them outside. On clock change, when it goes back an hour, they can only go forwards. So they have a mild panic. They realise the time's changed. They flip back to midnight and then they flip all the way forward. They just spend all day spinning around. It's great fun.
Sounds like me.
But beyond that, there's a few clocks that cause problems, aren't there? I mean, there's the microwave. You just have to keep pressing buttons until it stops stops flashing 12.
Yeah, I know. I'm one of these that never got the hang of resetting your microwave, resetting your oven, and then resetting your car clock as well.
Yeah, the car you just give up and it sorts itself in 6 months. But the real problematic one I've found that nobody talks about, it's a sundial.
Oh, yeah.
And if you know any good spinal specialist, dear listener, please let me know, because I think the pain will be with me for the next 10 years and solely wasn't worth it to have the correct time in the dark depths of winter.
Now, we've just moved to a new village, haven't we, Mark?
Yes, kind of giving the game away, but yes.
Yeah,
we did.
So it's kind of a little bit of a quaint village. There's a couple of horse riding stables at either end, and it's very nice. We like to go for a walk in the woods and have a potter around the main village and everything. But I think it's having a bit of a side effect on me.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if you've noticed this yourself.
No.
But I've noticed that I had to buy myself a new winter coat, big coat like we do every year, get yourself a nice winter coat. And the colour I went for was like a sage green. And at the time when I brought it, the thought never popped into my mind. But anyway, I ordered my coat come, I tried it on, I thought, yeah, that's great. And then I thought, I need to get myself some my welly bobs on. So I get my welly bobs, I'm going for a walk around the village. And I'm looking around me, I'm looking at people that have lived in the village for quite a number of years as you're getting chatting to them and everything. And I thought to myself, I remind myself of somebody, and I don't know who I remind myself. I thought it will come to me. And as I'm walking around looking at all the other villages and stuff, and then suddenly occurred to me, guess who I think I've changed into?
One of the Wombles?
No, Margot. Can you remember To the Manor Born?
I will not admit I'm that old that I remember To the Manor Born, but yes, I know what you're...
Margot, she used to have the mostly like the cream horse riding jumpers on, some long kind of horsey boots, and the same coloured kind of puffer, same coloured jacket as what I've got.
So you're trying to say that you're following into the rural style, but you're not doing it fully until you've done that green wax jacket that everyone wears.
Well, this
have you started to go down that route?
And this is what made me prompt, because my jacket is a kind of it is more or less the same colour as that. So I think that's what made me think, oh my gosh, I'm turning into Margot.
You're not quite there. You're in knockoff territory.
Yeah, I don't have the headscarf yet, though.
You're still in knockoff territory, which means you can retract back to normality.
Yeah.
It is possible. We can bring you back from the brink. But what actually happens, and whether she goes over the edge, dear listener, we shall find out in 6 months' time. Unless you've been under a rock for a few decades, you'll be aware of the concept of drive-thrus. And I've just remembered one I saw from the US, which you don't get over in this country. Drive-through banks.
Drive-through banks?
Yeah, it's got an ATM on the driver's side. It's like the ultimate in laziness, so you don't have to walk the 3 yards from the car park to the cash machine.
You still get somebody in front of you about 10 minutes because they can't decide what they want to do with it.
Oh, you get that. And the silly bit that most people point out when they talk about these things is, you know those dots on the keyboard they have for accessibility? You know, you can't make out the keys very well. Like, you know, and you've got the dots to tell you, all right, that's the number 7 or whatever. And then people make jokes about, oh, yeah, imagine blind people driving with a dog shouting directions. You lean out and you'll be able to find it. You know, it's for passengers. That's what that's there for. Let's be honest about it. So backseat passengers don't exist. But here in the UK, drive-thrus are almost always for food, aren't they? But I see a couple of problems with them.
Yeah.
Firstly,
oh, yeah.
You know, is it just me that can't make out what they're saying on the box?
Yeah, it is true. And then when you get a driving that's got like a double speaker either side, you don't know if they're talking to you or the car in the next row. I struggle with that.
You struggle with that?
Yeah, they go, hello, welcome to blah, what can I get you? And you're like, are they talking to me? Does that come through my microphone? Or does it come through the microphone for the lane next to me?
Well, one of the struggles I have down here in Englandshire with my accent is it's absolute potluck what you end up with coming out the other end of the drive-through.
Oh, they never understand you, Mark.
I could literally spell it out letter by letter and I'll still get something wildly different. Yeah. But the other problem I run into is the non-decider. You know the one I'm on about.
Yeah, is that me?
The ones who wait till they're right at the front of the queue and then go, what do I want? And then they're sitting there for 20 minutes and you're behind them. Yeah. And you have to be stuck in the queue waiting for them. But I've been having a think. I've got a solution for this one, right? A little lay-by where you have to sit in until you've decided.
Yeah.
It'll just turn into a queue for the queue and confuse everyone.
It will.
Yeah, so if you've got any solutions to that problem, dear listener, that are better than my attempt, do get in touch and we'll share them with the wider world.
I just want to slip this one thing in before we have to go, Mark.
Uh-oh.
I know, I felt like I needed to do it because I'm very happy. And do you know why?
Why?
I saw a Doctor Who the other week, and guess who's back? Guess who's the new Doctor? I don't know if this is going to be a spoiler for anybody, but I don't care. I feel like I've got to say it.
New Doctor. Is it George Lazenby?
No. He's back, Mark. I don't know how long it has been since he last was the Doctor. The Doctor.
Oh. It's not that dude from the 60s, is it?
Which one?
There was a couple of them, wasn't there?
No, I don't think it's him from the 60s. I'm not sure
Tom,
what you mean.
Tom Baker or whatever.
No, not Tom Baker. No. This is definitely Eye Candy, this one.
Eye Candy?
Yeah. Do you need to know?
Go on, tell us who it is.
David Tennant is back!
Oh, no.
That's made my day.
Do you know what the problem with this is, dear listener? This means that I have to now watch Doctor Who every week. Because somebody will want to see him from the Eye Candy.
I will.
That's me admitting that my weekends are now going to be taken up with Doctor Who. I don't know how I'm going to endure it. Don't know how I'm going to manage it. But if you've got any tips, do get in touch. I would love to hear them. That, unfortunately, dear listener, was A Wee Natter. I was Marc Steele and she was...
Jenny Steele.
We might change it around some point.
Yeah, I might be Marc Steele next week.
I'm game. See what happens. I'm always up to see what happens with these things. And there are a couple of ways of getting this fine podcast. One of them is to subscribe to A Wee Natter. That is the feed on your podcatcher, and you'll get every single episode squirted to your device as soon as it's available. The other option is you can subscribe to Solid Radio, and you get it squirted to your device, along with a whole bunch of other stuff as well. Yeah, so it's entirely up to you. But the important bit that we need you to do, dear listener, and it's not a secret mission, but it's a very important mission, all right? What we need you to do is to tell absolutely everybody you know that A Wee Natter exists, and they need to get it on their podcatcher yesterday.
They do.
That's the important bit.
And to also try the mince pies with us as well. The mince pie challenge.
Yes, if you do have any suggestions for mince pies, we should not miss, because we don't know about every bakery in the land. We have to be told. To. Do get in touch on that one. And on that note, this is a Solid Radio production, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.